What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the House of Suain. So in this episode, I'm gonna go over the CrossFit Open 22.1 workout that I did a couple days ago. It's been a while since I've actually done CrossFit specific workouts, probably the better part of a year, and just wanted to see what I could do after all this time off of not really focusing on the specific movements and volume that a lot of CrossFit workouts tend to have. So yeah, again, my goal was to do 2-ish minute rounds. I knew the wall walks right here were going to be, for me at least, the sticking point after a while, putting 200 plus pounds on the shoulders for however many reps I was going to be able to do was going to be very taxing. So in the beginning, of course, I got the energy still. I'm going pretty fast through these and I'm kind of rolling with it. I'm using this first round as a gauge to see if 2 minutes is realistic, if it's too fast or too slow to stay and try to obtain that 6 round goal that I had. So I felt pretty comfortable going in with these dumbbell snatches. This is a fairly light weight for me. Again, over 200 pounds, so 50-pound dumbbell, throwing it overhead isn't as difficult. But again, these workouts are well thought out. So going from wall walks after a couple of rounds to the snatches, heavy or light, these dumbbell snatches were going to be very fatiguing after those wall walks. Now the tricky one right here was the box jumps, because most people, me myself included, I can do the rebounding movement where I jump on the box, come off the floor and immediately rebound back up to the top of the box. So this was a clever way to kind of put a limiter and also a safer way to do this movement. I see my lace got untied, and for the rest of this round I was thinking about not tripping and eating shit on this box, because and right here on this last rep I did I jumped down off of the box. And so for me, I knew that was a no rep because you have to step down off of the top of the box. So integrity, I made sure I took a step down for that last rep and redid it. So that was one round. I think I was about at 2 minutes right there, or 1 minute 54 seconds. I'll start a timer right now just to kind of keep an eye on that. But I'm pretty sure that first round for me was just under 2 minutes. And I was like, okay, first round, I was at the freshest, most energy, and I just got under 2 minutes. So I knew after about 15 minutes of this, 2 minutes would be realistic. But again, famous last words, especially when I'm only 2 minutes into this workout, still got 13 minutes to go. A lot can change by then. Still feeling pretty comfortable on the wall walks. Those, again, I knew those were going to catch up with me. 3 reps a round is nice, but because the rounds go by pretty fast, I'm going right back into another 3, and that's going to add up really fast. I could have gone faster on these snatches, but again, I knew for me, the sticking point was going to be the wall walks. So if I did everything too fast, the snatches and then the box jumps, I would immediately get right back into the wall walks. And I thought I'd slow it down just a little bit to help myself recover a little bit more before I got back to another round of wall walks. And in the long run, because again, I haven't done this type of volume with this type of intensity, with the time limit and all that in a while, close to a year. So making myself slow down on the snatches and these box jumps for the sake of saving and recovering myself for the wall walks, it helped me anyway, because these snatches and these box jumps were going to become very fatiguing in a little bit. So with these box jumps, I wanted to stay low, instead of jumping on the box, standing all the way up, pretty much doing another squat at the top of the box and then stepping down. So I wanted to stay low, but again, we all have a plan till you get punched in the face. And after a while, you start to feel the burn in the legs if you're doing that jump and staying low. A lot of tension on the quads and the hamstrings. So what's this, the third round right here? Slowing down slightly on the wall walks, making sure, I have to touch that front line. There's 2 lines in front of me, at my shoulder level, one for the females, one for the gentlemen. And so I just got to make sure my fingers are touching that front line at the bottom, and then some part of my hands are touching that back line near the wall once I get to the top. So yeah, 3 rounds in, starting to feel the wall walks already. I knew that was going to happen. And again, with these snatches, my intent was to make sure I didn't have to break them up. Right? I knew the wall walks eventually would have to go slower, and I'd break them up there, break up reps there. So I wanted to make sure with the snatches, I could just keep going and do a 1 unbroken set for those. But again, just because those snatches are light for me doesn't mean they are not fatiguing in any way. And these box jumps, now that I think about it, it started to catch up to me, I think, around this point. There's a lot of box jumps right here. And even though we got that step down, it slows you down, which in a way is good, because if I was just rebounding back up to the top of the box, I would have been way more fatigued, probably would have stepped down on my own anyways. But I can see right here, I'm taking a couple of steps shuffling near the box, right there. So I took about 3 steps, and that adds up seconds for, 15 reps, taking a couple seconds between each rep, that adds up. But I was just catching my breath, taking it easy. Yeah, so I think, right, that's 4 rounds. And at this point, I'm taking an intentional break between the round, because I know at this point these wall walks are very fatiguing, taxing on the shoulders. I think that was the biggest part. The maybe not the shoulders, but the triceps, trying to keep the arms locked out. I was definitely starting to feel it. And this is not a movement that you want to fail on. Do like some sort of scorpion coming down or fall off to the side. So yeah, between each rep, I'll get my hands off the ground, kind of relax the shoulders, take a couple breaths. Still feeling good on the snatches. I didn't take much of a rest between the wall walks and the snatches. I think at one point coming up, I do take a longer break. I've already lost count on what round I'm on right now, but again, these rounds, I'm still at about just over 2 minutes. Snatches are still pretty smooth. Not a difficult movement, at least for myself, but again, a lot of volume. These box jumps, again, you start to see me taking a couple shuffle steps in between each rep because the legs are burning at this point, which was surprising to me, but also not. And not training box jumps for almost a year, that didn't surprise me that this was fatiguing, but it didn't, I don't know, something about it didn't feel like it was going to be difficult, but there's a lot of reps right here. So this step down was definitely helpful in keeping me at a good pace for myself. I know there's people out there that are doing this twice as fast. Taking a nice rest between the rounds, not running to the next movement. I'm not that athlete. I'm not competing at the highest level possible. Again, this for me was making sure I was able to maintain some sort of fitness in the CrossFit realm. So that was my goal, and I was trying to keep that. Again, 2 minutes, about 2 minutes a round. So again, with these wall walks, got to start with my hands touching that front tape. I can't move my hands off that front tape until both my feet are on the wall. and then my hands have to walk all the way back and touch that back tape near the wall before I can go back to the starting position. And now that I'm looking at it, I thought I was taking longer rests between each rep on the wall walks. Again, there's people that are banging through these in a couple seconds, but at least for myself, it felt like I was taking a lot longer of a rest between each rep. That's how difficult it started to feel. But I think I paid for it here where I didn't pace myself well enough on those wall walks just now, because now I'm taking a long rest before I get to these snatches. So that was about at least 10 seconds. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted my rest to only be between the rounds, but I adjusted and kept going. Dumbbell snatches have always been a fun movement. Feels pretty cool just throwing that weight overhead and moving through it smoothly like this. I felt very comfortable doing these. And I think I started to dread the box jump because, I don't know, if it's such a simple movement, but man, these really started to burn the legs, as I'm sure they were intended to do. And then also the mental fear of the wooden box. I've tripped over it a couple times along the years. I love the foam boxes. A lot less fear of like scraping my shin, which I've done a couple times on the box. Something about the foam box lets me jump over it with a lot more confidence. But I think every time I jumped over this box, I thought, don't clip the box with the front of your foot. So I think this is round 5. I'm not sure. I'll throw that number up right now for what round I'm on. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a longer break, probably the longest break in between rounds I've done so far. Not too long. Again, with a goal of about 2 minutes per round and trying to get at least 6 rounds, right, that would give me about 12 minutes. This is a 15-minute workout. So it gave me some wiggle room to get enough rest in between each round. But yeah, right here, the triceps and the shoulders are definitely burning. Taking a good rest in between each rep right now. Because this is the type of movement where it's so taxing to do one rep that you don't want to end up failing the rep, whether you fall over, hopefully not, but also if you just can't make it to the wall the correct way or make it back to the front line, you waste all that time and energy to get a no rep. So I was making sure I had enough energy to do at least 1 rep at a time. And I think at this point, a part of me was really contemplating taking a break on these snatches, but then that little voice in the back of my head is just like, come on, it's only 12 reps, 6 reps an arm. A lot of this is gonna be like power from the hips, if you do it correctly. So I just made sure I pushed through those. So I think this is round 5, because I was starting to be aware of the time. And I think I was telling myself, instead of taking those shuffle steps, I'll plant 1 foot down, and that first foot that gets planted is gonna just stay there so I don't shuffle away from the box too much. Yeah, so I was trying to be more intentional about that. Because again, those shuffle steps would add, a couple seconds each rep, and that adds up, especially with so little time left. But after a while, like you just see, I did a 1 box jump over. That was allowed. Very fatiguing movement, so I doubt many people are going to be doing, if any, are going to be jumping over the box completely. But I thought I'd do it. One of the owners said do it, and I was like, sure, why not? On the last rep. Yeah, this is definitely my last round. So I think that I just finished 6 rounds right there. Maybe less than a minute left. Thought about just going to sleep at this point, but the coach was there, so definitely motivated me to get these last reps in. Yeah, definitely very fast in between these reps, pushing the limits. At this point, I'm on the red line. Get a couple reps in, because those wall walks are probably a good separator. And there we go, 22.1. I think that's, 6 rounds and 5 reps. 3 wall walks, 2 snatches. That was a rough one, but definitely a fun one. Either way, I'm pretty satisfied with what I did. My goal was 6 rounds, and I was able to do that and then some. So felt good about that. If you've given this one a try, let me know how it went for you. If this is like your first time seeing a CrossFit workout like this, hopefully it was a nice introduction for you. So I'll be doing more of these as the workouts get released every Thursday, I believe, at like 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But thanks for watching. And as always, until next time in the House of Suain, take it easy.